Hi, Your Honor. This is Doug.
Your Honor, John Hayes is trying to get in. We're trying to get through some technical difficulties, so he should be joining hopefully soon.
Good morning, everybody. Doug, you hear me all right, sir?
Yes, I hear you just fine, and you're on the record.
All right, thank you very much, sir. And good morning, everyone. My name is Chuck McLean. I'm the Chief Public Utility Law Judge at the Maryland Public Service Commission. Today's April 7th, 2022. It's approximately 10 o'clock in the morning. We're here in case number 9500P, which is captioned in the matter of the continuing investigation of the commodity and purchase gas adjustment charges of Baltimore Gas and Electric Company. We can start with appearances with the company. Can't hear you, Ms. Sikora.
Yeah. Good morning, Your Honor. Beverly Sikora on behalf of PGE.
Good morning, ma'am. OPC?
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Sammartino on behalf of Office of People's Counsel.
Good morning, sir. And finally, staff.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Dean on behalf of the staff of the Maryland Public Service Commission. Thank you.
Good morning, sir, and thank you. Mr. Corey, you want to kick things off, please?
Sure, Your Honor. I know we had it stipulated to the admission of testimony, but did you want me to just do that with Ms. Calvert's testimony and then we'll do Mr. Hayes kind of normally, or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So first, Your Honor, I wanted to enter the certificates of publication that were filed earlier this week on April 5th. We published notice in the Baltimore Sun, and then there were also there was a screenshot of our homepage where it was the notice was posted as well.
Okay, we'll mark that as BGE1 for identification. And is there any objection to moving that into the record?
No objection from OPC, Your Honor.
And then the next oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. BGE1's admitted. Just want to make sure I didn't forget it.
Okay. So then next we would have the direct testimony of Gina M. Calvert consisting of 7 pages and 2 exhibits. That was filed on January 28th, 2022. And I'd ask that that be marked as BG Exhibit 2.
It'll be marked as BG Exhibit 2 and admitted.
Okay. And then next we'll move on to Mr. Hayes. Mr. Hayes, would you please state your full name, your employer, and your position for the record?
My name is John.
Oh, sorry.
Let me swear you in, sir.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that would be helpful.
Can I get you to raise your right hand, please? You swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. And you can put your hand down, sir. I can tell from the background, it looks like Mr. Hayes is not in the same room with you, Ms. Sikora. Is that fair to say?
No, he's not.
I appreciate
He has better artwork than I do, though, so I'm a little jealous.
Different counties as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Sikora.
Okay. Mr. Hayes, would you please state your full name, employer, and position for the record?
My name is John L. Hayes. I work for Baltimore Gas and Electric Company as a principal rate analyst.
Okay. Do you have before you a
Spell
document?
your name for the record, please.
John, John, Hayes, Hays.
Mr. Hayes, do you have before you a document entitled The Prepared Direct Testimony of John L. Hayes dated January 28th, 2022, consisting of 16 pages and 6 exhibits?
I do.
Was this document prepared by you or under your direction supervision?
Yes,
Do you have any changes or corrections that you need to make to this document?
I do not.
If I were to ask you the same questions today under oath, would your answers be the same as those that are written?
Yes,
Okay. Your Honor, I'd ask that the direct testimony of Mr. Hayes be marked as BG Exhibit 3 and entered into evidence.
It will be so marked and entered into evidence. Do any of the parties have any questions for Mr. Hayes? I know you kind of waved across earlier, but I figured I'd open it up.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll give you an opportunity to ask questions after I do it. And Mr. Hayes, thank you for being here. I don't have any, your testimony is fine. I'm just wondering, in terms of the MBR with the fixed price purchases every year with the 10 to 20%. I know that, that's not subject to prudence reviews. And I'm not necessarily, I don't have a problem with that issue. I'm just wondering, the price was, I think it was $4.1 million over the City Gate Index. And I know that each year in Mr. Jennings' testimony and now Ms. Calvert's testimony, they always note that these types of purchases don't necessarily save customers in the long run. And I'm just wondering if is it time to maybe revisit this particular provision of the MBR?
I would say, just as background, that provision was installed as part of a stipulation and settlement agreement in case 8860. So that's why we perform those purchases every year.
Yeah, and
okay.
I understand the background, and I don't know if maybe it's just the climate or the economic climate and just the amount. I went back over the last couple of years, and it looked like it was probably one of the higher amounts. And again, I know there's obviously a number of factors, including how much gas you're purchasing. But I was just wondering if these provisions have been in place for probably around 20 years or so, or more. Just wondering if that particular provision is something that should be revisited. That's all.
Yeah, and I would think, I'm not sure where my role as a witness ends, and because it was part of a stipulation settlement agreement,
Sure.
I would think that would need to have a conversation with all the parties who signed the stipulation agreement. I would say factually, you are correct that historically, in most years, the fixed price purchases are higher than that, which were purchased in those months at the spot market.
Yeah, there was a couple of years ago, you guys almost nailed it. I think Ms. Calvert's testimony was in 9,500 N when she said it was about the same. And again, I realize that the amounts are higher. I just didn't know if you had a thought in if we should revisit it. But I realize it was part of a settlement. So I don't know, I was more curious than anything, given the current climate of everything and rising prices. In terms of, can you give us a peek as to what might be happening, I guess, next year with the PGA or in the MBR? Is it looking like, it's going to be even higher?
Right. Well, with the MBR changing on a month-to-month basis, other utilities have annual PGA, gas commodity price filings. Others have quarterly. Ours are on a month-to-month basis, so it is driven by that market price for gas. I will say that we do have over half of our commodity for next year would be locked in, through this upcoming summer. I think that's in Ms. Calvert's testimony. So it does act as a hedge against any spikes in the wintertime market and that in this year specifically, the commodity price or the weighted average cost of gas for storage that was purchased the previous summer was much lower than the price this winter. So that helped to moderate and buffer, and it was a physical hedge against the higher prices that customers would have seen had everything been bought at winter prices.
Right. All right. Thank you very much, sir. I think that's all I have. Ms. Secor, did you have any follow-up, ma'am?
Sure. Mr. Hayes, is there also a mechanism within the MBR rider too that prevents prices from going up drastically from month to month?
Yes, there is. There's a provision, there's a limitation that the Rider 2 price cannot increase more than 20% from 1 month to the next. And any limitation on that is carried forward into a future month so that it smooths out any price increases and limits any spikes.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. San Martino, do you have any questions, sir?
Your Honor, OPC has no questions. I would like to note, just for the record, that we would be open to a discussion about revisiting this MBR mechanism in the future.
Right. Well, I didn't mean to open a can of worms. It was, again, but I'll note that it was just the dollar figure jumped out at me. That's all. Mr. Dean, do you have any questions for Mr. Hayes?
Staff has no questions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I guess that's all we have for you, Mr. Hayes. I appreciate you being here, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes.
Thank you. Mr. San Martino, do you have anything to introduce today, sir?
Nothing today, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Dean?
Staff has 2 exhibits, Your Honor. The first is the direct testimony of Mark Riley, filed on March 11, 2022, consisting of 9 pages and attachments with 1 errata. And we'd like to mark that as staff exhibit number 1.
All right, that will be so marked, sir.
And the second exhibit is the direct testimony of Olivia Kirkendall, dated March 11, 2022, consisting of 7 pages and attachments. And we'd like to mark that as staff exhibit number 2.
That will be so marked.
And we'd like to move both exhibits into the administrative record.
Right, and they are both admitted, sir.
And that is all for staff.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have anything else? Okay, all right, great. Thank you all for being here, Mr. Hayes. I appreciate you being here today, sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, Doug, we're off the record.
We're off the record, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.